And let's not forget the West Wales Raiders, they were brushed aside earlier on in the season by the Bulls, 82 points to 6 in the Challenge Cup third round back in February. So we've gone through both sides. The referee dressed in green, he's from Castleford, just along the M62. It's Andy Sweet, and it will be Dane Chisholm to get this afternoon's game between Bradford and West Wales underway. Bradford will play from right to left. The West Wales Raiders will have first use of the ball, and in their black strip will play towards the South Bank side. So Bulls live and proper sport, a glorious sun-drenched Odsal Stadium, and the kick-off has gone out on the full. Dane Chisholm holds his hand up, and the West Wales Raiders have an early penalty, John.
Yeah, that ball drifted a little bit there, didn't it? It is a little bit windy. I was down there earlier on, and now we haven't got a ball, unfortunately. But yeah, a bit of a strange start. West Wales got a penalty now, got a chance to get some field position.
So the referee, Andy Sweet, will stop the clock. Really shorts and weather crowd here at Odsal. The cold beer and the ice cream abundant on the terraces. And West Wales Raiders, they're not going to find touch. So Ethan Ryan saves the Bulls bacon, and he immediately has lost the ball in contact 15 shy of the halfway line. So Joe, a bit of a shaky start from the Bulls.
Yeah, it's not been smooth sailing. Hopefully we can defend this set and get the ball back and sort of play on our terms again. Yeah, it's been a bit shaky.
Mike Hines watching in Liverpool. Irene Fisher, come on you Bulls, watching in Cyprus. So West Wales Raiders, a second opportunity, a second bite at that cherry, and they will move the ball down the middle channel, 30 away from the Bradford line, centre of the field. Liam Kirk and Hallis in defence for John Keir's side. And out of dummy half from Macaulay Harris, it's gone to Connor Parker, and Connor Parker's brought down 22 shy of the Bulls try line in front of the post. Harris along the line as it goes on that left-hand edge towards Hale. Hale's going to be brought down. 3 Bradford defenders in the tackle. 3 tackles gone. Sun-drenched Odsal Stadium, Betfred League 1, and it's going to be Harrison Elliott, who had a tilt at that Bradford Bulls line. 4th tackle gone for West Wales. They scored when they visited Odsal earlier on in the season, and there's an early kick towards Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan is felled there by the fullback Michael Ward, and it's a first penalty of the afternoon to the Bulls, and Ethan Ryan's in a little bit of discomfort. I think he's landed on his left knee, and he'll just get up a little bit gingerly, a little bit groggy, and Dane Chisholm has boot to ball, and he will find touch on the Bradford 12. So, penalty apiece to both sides. And here come the Bulls. Tackle number 1 on their own 20. Chisholm in at dummy half. Bit of a quick play of the ball there from Garside. Bulls trying to wrestle the momentum early doors. Kirk on tackle number 2. Flanagan along the line to Pickersgill. Pickersgill to Bustin. Callum Bustin still going forward. 3 minutes gone on the clock here at Odsal. Flanagan to Laythwaite, James Laythwaite, who's just signed a contract extension. His loan deal will run right through to the end of the season, and Sam Hallis is wrapped up on the last tackle. Bradford, centre of the field, 30 metres out. Flanagan to Pickersgill. Pickersgill looking for Grant. Grant looking to put the West Wales Raiders player under pressure. The ball's being knocked on. Pickersgill has it. Pickersgill going towards the corner. Offloads it back to Gibson. Ashley Gibson's touchdown in at the corner. The referee will stop the clock. He'll go to consult the touch judge, and it will be scrum head and feet to the Bradford Bulls. No advantage. Bradford will go again. 0-0. 4 minutes on the clock. Bulls live and proper spot. An exciting start, John.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a bit shaky, hasn't it, actually? A kick out on the full, then a failed missed touch from a penalty. But interesting there, I mean, Callum Bustin, what another great carry there, 15 metres. He's getting a good reputation for making good carries every week, Callum. Interesting to see what Bradford do here now on the first real good ball set.
Andrew Midgley watching from the States as it goes to Garside. Garside to Hitchcox. Hitchcox beats 1, beats 2, steps in on the left, steps in on the right, and he's brought down Although he's managed to offload the ball back to Flanagan. Flanagan to Bustin. Bustin has a tilt at the line. That is tackle number 1. Bradford 2 metres out from the line. 5 minutes gone. Flanagan to Chisholm. Chisholm to Hallis. Hallis brought down in a 3-man tackle. So, stern stuff in defence thus far from the West Wales Raiders. But they can't stop Callum Bustin. Callum Bustin charges to the West Wales line. And the Bulls have their first try of the afternoon. 5 minutes gone on the clock. It is Bradford Bulls 4, the West Wales Raiders no score. What do you reckon of that start, Joe?
Yeah, that first set I was really pleased with. There's a few half breaks and a few chances to offload the ball, but we were disciplined enough to hold on to it and complete the set, get to a good kick and force an error. Pleased for Cal to get over for 1-2. Last week he was awesome. He saved 3 tries and it's good to see him get over the line for 1.
And I think it's great to see Callum Bustin, albeit he's on loan from the Castleford Tigers, but he's really grasping his opportunity in League One, just like he did last year, playing up at Newcastle and at Oxford. He really knows what League One's all about, John.
Yeah, absolutely. And he got loaned out by the Broncos to a few different places. For me, do you know what else is good about him? He's a good bloke. He arrived at the game halfway through the academy match and came straight down to talk to all the lads from London that he used to play with, which I think is great stuff.
So Chisholm adds the extra 2. Bradford Bulls 6, West Wales Raiders 0. Steve Potts says, hope you've got the factor 30 on. Lee Chapman says it looks busy at Odsall. Crowds are on the rope. This is a club that's going through the rebuilding process, and John Keir is oozing regeneration energy. Bradford lead 6-0 early doors after a bit of a shaky start. Dalton Grant will give the ball to Laithwaite, James Laithwaite, as we said, on a season-long loan from the Toronto Wolfpack. It's going to go from Pickersgill to Hallis. Sam Hallis breaks clear. Hallis is brought down just shy of the Bradford 40. And Flanagan has options in at dummy half. He's going to give it to Chisholm. Chisholm to Garside. Matt Garside goes through. Inside support to Flanagan. George Flanagan inside the West Wales 20. Bradford surging forward here. Hitchcocks to Chisholm. Chisholm, bullet pass to Ethan Ryan. Forward pass as the referee, but he's going to play the advantage and he's going to say it's a penalty. So the ball's gone forward, but they were inside the 10, John.
Yeah, it was a fantastic pass by Chiz, wasn't it? Ethan would have walked in under the sticks there, more or less. But the referee's right on the money there and awarded the offside, so we got a penalty 10 metres out. George
Flanagan just delaying the restart, allowing the Bulls to get their attacking formation, attacking structure. He's going to tap it, and here goes the big man, Callum Bustin. Brought down, a metre out from the line. It goes to Flanagan, it goes to Chisholm. Chisholm along the line to Pickersgill. Pickersgill to Hitchcocks, to Gibson, to Dalton Grant. And the Welsh international will cross for try number 9 of the season. Bradford Bulls 10, West Wales Raiders 0.
Well, great Bradford with some good ball handling skills there, and Dalton's gone in, run the ball a bit closer to the post for Chiz to have a good, simpler goal kick. I'm sorry to say it, but I think the writing could be on the wall already, and we're 8 minutes into the game at the moment. But to be fair, you know what the biggest thing is for me? That West Wales came to Yorkshire last week, lost by over 100, and everyone's got back on the bus and come up here again today. And I don't know if you noticed it when they were going in after their warm-up, every Bradford Bulls fan was clapping them as they went back into the tunnel, so I think that's a huge thing for them.
Dane Chisholm will attempt the conversion to 20 metres out. 10 metres in from the far stand side. I'm guessing this is the game that you're a bit gutted to miss, Joe, because potentially loads of points are going to be on the scoreboard, and this would certainly do your stats all the world of good.
It would, yeah, it's always nice to get some points on the board, but obviously the 2 points is the main thing, and I know Chizzy can kick as well, so fingers crossed he's on the money today.
If anyone's got any questions for Joe Keys, let us know in the comments, and we'll certainly do our best to ask them. Chisholm over on that eastern edge. That one has zipped between the posts, and it is Bradford Bulls 12, West Wales Raiders 0. 8 minutes gone here at Odsall, and the Bulls are beating the clock. Well, let's just have a little bit of a recap on the West Wales Raiders. After just one season as the South Wales Ironmen, another rebound beckoned as a fresh financial crisis led to numerous players moving on throughout the year. It meant the club were unable to name their strongest 17 players on a number of occasions, and as we see it now in 2018, the West Wales Raiders, they're having to rely on a lot of the local community players to bolster their numbers. And certainly when you look back at last season, they did have the wins against Coventry Bears, Gloucestershire all goals, and they had a draw with Oxford. So 5 points they got in the 2017 season. And as we said, John Ellis has left. It's now Phil Carlton. And hopefully the rebranding, the rebuilding process can start again for the West Wales Raiders. Jai Hitchcock's looking for an opening. Moving the ball lateral. It goes to Laithwaite, to Gibson. Here goes Ashley Gibson. Rolling back the years. And he's brought down 10 inside the West Wales Raiders half. Quick play the ball. Dalton Grant in at dummy half. It goes to Pickersgill. Pickersgill to Hallis. Hallis is going to front up. And he's going to be brought down 25 metres out. And that is only tackle number 4. The Bulls have gone 75 metres as Pickersgill to Laithwaite. Out it goes to Ashley Gibson. Gibson over on that right-hand edge. He's going to be held just shy of the West Wales Raiders 10. George Flanagan comes up with an error. It's gone backwards. Crossfield kick for Ethan Ryan. Ryan touches down into the corner. Telepathic rugby league from the Bulls again. They've gone back to back, and it's now 16 points to 0. That one was telegraphed. Joe Keys.
Fantastic kick from Chiz there, and you know who else you want on the end of that other than Ethan Ryan. You know, he's fantastic in the air and such a threat and great finish.
Ethan Ryan in at the corner, 16 points to 0. And Ethan Ryan's been in fine form in 2018. That is try number 6. Steve Potts has just commented, John, something what you mentioned earlier. There's no need for sentiment today from Bradford. York, they have by far superior points for and against. I feel the Bulls need to put in a ruthless display and put a marker down.
I do as well, but at the end of the day, we've still got York to come here. We've been there and beat them. But let's be honest about it, boys. We're 12 minutes into the game at the moment and the 3 tries have been scored. So I fear a bit for Wales. But yeah, you know, the Bulls have got to be ruthless. And also, we've just got to get a bit more clinical. I think in a couple of the other games, particularly last week, we probably blew 4 or 5 tries in the game last week and it'd have made it 50-odd points to 6. So, you know, just got to keep going. As I said, it's all about processes. If you do what you've been practicing all week, it's easy.
Chisholm from the touchline, 18 points to 0. 11 minutes gone on the clock here at Odsall. And West Wales Raiders already showing signs of tiredness and fatigue. They do not want to get the restart underway, and it is looking like another massacre is potentially on the cards. 3 tries from the Bulls inside the opening 11 minutes. Amanda Richardson watching from Humming Bay. Callum Linford putting a bit of perspective on the other side of the argument. This is no good for the game. Good tries from the Bulls. And Matthew Ryan, the dad, father of Ethan, he's away on holiday and he has just watched his son score an absolute perler. As we said, that pinpoint kick from Dane Chisholm telegraphed. Bradford on the restart. Pickersgill in at dummy half to Callum Bustin. Here goes Callum Bustin. Bustin's made 20 metres there for John Keir's side. The West Wales Raiders lay on in the tackle. And that is Bradford's 4th penalty of the afternoon, and it's awarded 5 shy of the halfway line. Chisholm, a booming kick downtown, and Bradford will have the ball outside the West Wales Raiders 20. It's going to be tapped by Lee Smith, but he's tapped it in the wrong place. And the referee, Andy Sweet, will point where he would like him to tap it. And it's going to go to Matt Garside. Matt Garside, one of the Bulls' part-time players, a teacher in Brighouse during the week. Wrapped up, 10 away from the prize. Flanagan to Hallis. Hallis down that middle channel through the heart of the West Wales Raiders defence. Flanagan, Chisholm, Bustin. Callum Bustin brought down in a 4-man tackle. So Bradford, 2 tackles remaining in this set. Couple of metres away from the line. Hallis underneath the stakes. And it's a 4th try for the Bradford Bulls. And it's 22 points to 0. 30 minutes gone. And if we fought the Bulls, John, we're going to show a lot of respect to West Wales, which they certainly are doing. This scoreboard, I hope they've got 3 figures.
Yeah, as I said, you do worry for them a bit, don't you? Bradford being very clinical at the moment, making some good yards forward and making the field position count. Great to see Sam get over. Great also to see Dane Chisholm giving Keys a kicking lesson today, which I think is really important.
Yeah, he's going to put me out of a job.
Sam Hallis, of course, signed a 2-year deal at the back end of 2017. The former England Academy captain, Stanley youngster. And as Dane Chisholm goes from 3 from 3 to 4 from 4. Bulls live, proper sport here at Odsal Stadium. The Bulls, they're having fun in the sun, and it is 24 points to 0. Early tries here from Bustin, Grant, Ryan and Hallis. Keep your comments coming in. Susan Bethnal enjoying the commentary. Nick Emmanuel, I hope the RFL are watching this. This is not a great advert for the game. And Barbara Batten says, keep the tries coming. Come on, you Bulls. So, back underway. Matt Garside from the restart. Matt Garside, full power ahead. And Matt Garside finds the support from Ethan Ryan. Ryan to Chisholm. The Bulls will go the distance. The home run. It is 5 tries now. We've had 15 minutes on the clock. 28 points to 0.
Well, what do we say about that? Great break from Matt Garside. Great ball to Ethan on the inside to Chizzy, and gets in again near the sticks to gather another 2 points from the kick. I don't know what are we 14 minutes in, I think. We're at 26-0 already, are we?
We are, I think. I think we need to, keep being so clinical. Like the score last week off York. If we want to get anywhere near that, we need to just keep doing what we're doing and stick to the process because it's clearly working. We don't need to throw any silly offloads or anything like that. Just be disciplined and the points will come.
We mentioned pre-match, Joe. John, yet to see a full 80-minute performance from the side. I mean, the closest I think he mentioned was that away performance against Keighley. Perhaps this is the day with the big crowd here at Odsal, the terraces full of the Red, Amber and Black Army, and the ground baking hot that the Bulls do put in that 80-minute performance.
Yeah, definitely, and I think with the weather turning now, these conditions are going to suit the way we play a lot more. So coming to Odsal is not going to be an easy place to come to.
I think as well in terms of the this match itself, yeah, we're going to run some points and all that in, but what we need to keep doing, as Joe said, is keep our discipline. I think last week I mentioned at Doncaster that white line fever took over second half in the last 20 minutes, and we just today, and we've seen it already, we're passing and scoring. This isn't about individuals, it's about Bradford Bulls.
Dane Chisholm makes it 5 from 5. And it is the Bradford Bulls 30, West Wales Raiders 0. Callum Linford, it takes time to go through the building process, people are saying. But look at the West Wales players. This could be a higher score than the York City Knights. And David Thomas Vickers, if this was a boxing match, the ref would step in and he would end it straight away. For the West Wales Raiders though, here at Odsal Stadium, 16 and a half minutes gone here. Bradford 5 tries to the goal, Bustin Grant, Ryan Hallis and Chisholm, 30 points to 0. And Pete Hume saying the target for the Bulls is 60 points because that's the half-time score that York had against the West Wales Raiders. Here goes Sam Hallis. Bradford just a little bit slower on the restart. It is an energy-sapping day, but Garside looking to open them up again. Here goes Ethan Ryan, keeps his feet in touch, and he's brought down 15 inside the West Wales Raiders half. Quick play the ball, Flanagan in at dummy half to Chisholm, Chisholm along the line to Hallis, Hallis probing, looking for a hole, and he's brought down 25 metres out. On the last tackle, centre of the field. It's going to go to Chisholm. Chisholm goes high. Ethan Ryan chasing it. Ethan Ryan, can he juggle it? He's knocked the ball on in goal, but it has come off a West Wales Raiders arm, says referee Andy Sweet. Dane Chisholm has forced a goal line dropout, and the Bulls will have a repeat set. And this is more pressure for West Wales to absorb, John.
Absolutely, and it's all a very much one-way traffic, isn't it? And I think we are getting to the point where we're kicking off and then making 80, 90 metres every time. I just think West Wales just need to sort of, if it's possible, just to focus on what they're doing and not be worried too much about Bradford. I know they've not really had any ball yet, but when they do, just concentrate on getting to the end of the sets.
Jack Hitchcock takes the restart, taken in there by Callum Busting. So we've already mentioned Callum Busting making a huge impact at the Bulls. Only 21 years of age, and he's going to be brought down just outside the 20. Hallis on tackle number 2. Quick play the ball. Flanagan in at dummy half. Along the line to Pickersgill. Pickersgill to Laithwaite. Laithwaite wrapped up. 2 West Wales Raiders in defence there. The sun blazing down as George Flanagan tries to show and go, and he's been caught high. And that is Bradford's 5th penalty of the afternoon. 5-1 on the count. Referee Andy Sweet will stop the clock with 19 and a half minutes gone. As we said, the referee at some point will allow a drinks break. The temperature, incidentally, just checked on Google Maps, and the thermometer here at Odsall this afternoon, 25 degrees, baking hot, in the sunshine. We'll go through all the ladies' scores at half-time. But it is Betfred League 1, and our attention is firmly focused here at Odsall. Bradford 30 points to 0 to the goal. They're looking for a 6th try as Kirk's brought down. Tackle number 1. Flanagan to Pickersgill. Pickersgill to Chisholm to Smith. Will Lee Smith cross? Lee Smith's brought down a metre shy of the line. Ethan Ryan back to Chisholm. Chisholm to Pickersgill. Pickersgill puts the fend in, tries to shrug off the defenders. He's rolled over in defence there. So good tackle by Archie Snook for the Raiders. Flanagan to Hallis down the middle channel, wrapped up. That is tackle number 4 for the Bulls. Great field position. Chisholm delays the pass, fires it to Garside. Garside wrapped up, and he's going to be brought down on the 5th and last tackle. Flanagan in at dummy half. Sloppy play the ball. Chisholm kicks forward, and the West Wales Raiders at last will have the ball with Archie Snook, and he will play the ball 12 metres out from his own try line. So, credit to the West Wales Raiders, Joe, because they've showed some resilience and strength in defence, and they've repelled the Bulls set of 6 there.
Yeah, they defended the line really well there, some good scramble defence, and defended the kick well, so they were looking for a good set coming out of yardage now.
Bradford defended on the West Wales 40. Macaulay Harris in at dummy half, goes down the middle with Craig Lewis. Lewis is wrapped up. Tackle number 4 for the Raiders, just shy of the halfway line. Garside and Busted in defence for the Bulls in that 3-man tackle. So too Kirk. Last tackle, says Andy Sweet. The kick is going to come in there from Sean Tennant. Tennant goes straight down the front of Dalton Grant. Grant on a mazy run, brings it towards this main stand side, and he's going to be brought down 20 shy of the halfway line. So Bradford back in possession. Chisholm out of dummy half to Ryan. Ethan Ryan, as we mentioned. 6th try of season 2018. Lee Smith peels for a high tackle, non-forthcoming, brought down on the halfway line. Flanagan to Pickersgill. Pickersgill to Laithwaite. Laithwaite to Gibson on that right-hand edge, on that far-stand side. And Ashley Gibson really having an adventurous game out there on that far-stand side. Gets the quick play of the ball in. Dalton Grant at dummy half. Laithwaite to Pickersgill. Pickersgill to Kirk. Kirk's brought down on the 5th and last tackle. 15 metres out, centre field. They're going on the far-stand side to Laithwaite. On the power play to Pickersgill. Pickersgill still going towards the line to Laithwaite, and he will crash over for Bradford's 6th try of the afternoon. And what a way, John, to celebrate. You're signing a loan deal that'll keep you at Odsal till the end of the year.
Absolutely, and James is one of those blokes in me that he was at played in Super League, went to Toronto, now he's come to us. But you can just see the qualities that he's got. All credit there to Brandon Pickersgill, did well there on a basketball pass over the top to get the score.
And Joe, just how tough is it going to be for the West Wales Raiders? Not only have they got a rampant force, which is the Bradford Bulls attack, but they've also got the heat bearing down on them, which is really going to evaporate that fuel out of the tank.
Yeah, it is. Defending your line is hard enough in any weather, so doing it in this weather is going to be tough, but credit to them, they're sticking with it, and as they showed in the last set before that one, they can do it, so hopefully they keep up the good work.
Well, a lot of comments in the Bulls Live and Proper Sports Facebook feed asking, can the Bulls beat the record York set last week? Danny Pero Robinson says, come on you Bulls. Dane Chisholm, yet to miss all afternoon, has the sun in his face. 15 metres to the right hand side of the upright, in front of the Rule Lane terracing, striking the pose, this to put the Bulls 36 points to 0 to the good, which Dane Chisholm does. And we're in the 23rd minute here in Odsal. The Bulls, they're beating the clock, John, and breathing space.
Absolutely, I mean, 36 points in 23 minutes. I just think what we need to do is just keep it in perspective of where we are today. I think it's great, yeah, that we're winning easily and 2 competition points, but what we need to be able to do is play for 80 minutes against York and Doncaster when they come here. And I'm not putting a downer on what we've done already, but that's reality, isn't it?
Carol Hardley says, come on you Bulls. Ryan Lee Wilkinson says, is this who York beat 144-0 last week? It is indeed. West Wales Raiders will be cursing the RFL fixture planner, sending them to Bootham Crescent and Odsal. 2 weeks on the bounce. Bradford though, 36-0 to the good, and despite a shaky 4 or 5 minutes, they're performing how John Keir would expect them to. Flanagan to Hallis, and Hallis, 21 years of age, wrapped up 5 shy of halfway, and the referee will stop the clock because there's a West Wales Raider down in back plane, Dalton Grant and Ashley Gibson. Just going to make sure he's all right, and it is the winger, Matthew Davis. So the physios will come on, and that will allow the referee to signal to the physios to bring on the drinks break. So we've got the drinks break, John, and yeah, what do we make of the opening 24 minutes?
I think it's a fantastic, very professional performance from Bradford. I'm amazed at these blokes from West Wales, after suffering what they suffered last week. As I said before, I've got back on the bus, travelled back up the country. John's making a couple of changes here, 20 minutes in. It's very warm out there, but you've got to give it to these West Wales lads. I mean, you talk about mental toughness. To me, it just says a lot about what the people are about, really.
And just when you've been tackling Callum Busting, on comes Ross Peltier, more ammunition, the more attacking threat for West Wales to deal with. So while we've just got a little break in play, Christine Waterworth, she comes out with, I really wish people would stop mourning. It's a great opportunity for building both teams. And Pete Anthony Price says, come on West Wales Raiders, only young and inexperienced side, but prepared to front up to the big boys of League One. And as I mentioned in the preamble, that is certainly one of the main challenges facing this club, to make sure previous mistakes are not repeated and that the club does not end up in the same situation again, and really does start to build a strong club in the Principality. It's not going to happen overnight, it is going to take a couple of years and a few tough results, but credit to the West Wales Raiders. They've come up with an error though on the last tackle. Referee Andy Sweet says Bradford were inside the 10, and that is a relieving penalty for Phil Carlton's side. So this performance and the whole West Wales structure causing a lot of debate on Bulls Live and Proper Sport, and Tony Lambert saying the record is irrelevant. If we turn York over at Odsal, I would rather take 4 points off a close rival than beat a team that have been put in a very competitive league that, in all honesty, they shouldn't have. Proper Sport Bulls Live. 25 minutes gone, 15 minutes to go to half time. It's 36 points to 0. Laithwaite, Chisholm, Hallis, Ryan, Grant, Bustin. Chisholm 6 from 6. Let's see what West Wales Raiders can do here. Dan Hunter, ball in hand. He's going to be wrapped up and turning the tackle by Hallis and Flanagan. And West Wales Raiders are 15 metres inside the Bradford Bulls half. The kick comes through there, and that will be dropped on by Chisholm. Chisholm immediately tackled though by Craig Lewis, and it's going to be Flanagan out of dummy half to Ryan. Ethan Ryan is brought down once again by Lewis. Lewis helped by Harris as well on that occasion. It's going to go to Pickersgill to Ross Peltier. Ross Peltier away. Inside support from Pickersgill. Lee Smith will roll back the years. Golden oldies on a Sunday afternoon at Odsal, and it's a 7th try from the Bradford Bulls. 40 points to 0. 26 minutes on the clock. This could be a Sunday afternoon massacre at Odsal, Joe.
Certainly could, and I know how happy Lee will be with that one. He's been speaking all week about how he's not scored all year, and like you say, he certainly rolled back the years then. He likes talking about playing at Old Trafford, but I'm sure he'll be happy with that one at Odsal as well.
Well, I think you're right there, Joe. I don't think I've seen Lee Smith move as fast since the 2007 Grand Final, when he got a couple of tries and Leeds defeated St Helens by 33 points to 6. But credit to Lee Smith, 31 years of age, still showing that he has all that experience. And John, the support play, exemplary. Pickersgill could have gone left or right. Options.
Absolutely, and you know, when you're playing these games, it's quite difficult because when the opposition are not that structured in what they're doing, and let's be fair, someone's just said it, commented on, you know, it's a young team, an experienced team. Sometimes it's difficult as a ball carrier to know what to do. I think when you're playing against, you know, if you like a semi-professional side or a more professional side, it's a lot more structured. So yeah, great pushing on both sides there, and good to see the old man get over for a score.
An eagle-eyed viewer says Lee Smith looks exhausted now.
It's the fastest he's run, Mick, since he owed me a tenner, I can assure you.
Bulls Live Proper Sport, Mick Gledhill, father and son, John and Joe, calling the action here. A Sunday delight, a Sunday treat. Let us know where in the world you're watching it. But as we said, a lot of comments about the West Wales Raiders, and as we all know, when Gateshead merged with Hull and the rebranded as Newcastle Thunder, look at how Newcastle Thunder have developed. It will take time, it will require a lot of patience, but as we've seen with Newcastle Thunder now, they're potentially challenging York and Bradford and Whitehaven and Workington for that automatic promotion spot. Bradford, of course, travel to Newcastle in a couple of weeks on a Friday night. That promises to be a humdinger. Bradford, they've surged forward. West Wales Raiders have a player down in back play. Flanagan is going to give the ball to Mikey Wood. Last tackle here for the Bulls. They lead by 42 points to 0 as Chisholm goes down the middle to George Flanagan. Flanagan inside to Matt Garside. It's another try for the Bradford Bulls, and we've got 11 minutes to go to half time, and it's now 46 points to 0.
Well, I think scoring at will is the term I'd use at the moment. Unfortunately, West Wales got another man down here now on the halfway line. They've already lost one. Fingers crossed it's not too serious. Great to see Gars get over the score, being one of the most consistent players this season alongside Elliot Minchella. Great to see him get 4 points.
Well, I've got an interesting story to tell you, John and Joe, about Matt Garside. When I was talking to Matt Garside yesterday at the captain's run, Matt Garside, of course, was actually in that Newcastle Thunder side all them years ago when they were getting beat 80 points to 0, 90 points to 10, and he knows what the West Wales Raiders players are going through, and he has a lot of empathy and sympathy, but he used the Newcastle Thunder model as an example of what can happen to the West Wales Raiders if they're patient, they don't rush things, they don't panic, and they allow things to grow organically.
Yeah, and I think what everybody's got to be realistic, you know, about investment in these things, and if they're prepared to take the time and someone's prepared to put the money in, then yes, it will develop properly. But you know, for me this year, I think they've been thrown in the deep end a bit, if I'm honest. It's probably one of the strongest League Ones there have been for a few years.
Dane Chisholm makes it 8 from 8. Bulls live, proper sport here at Odsall Stadium. It is the Bradford Bulls 48, West Wales Raiders 0. 30 minutes gone on the clock. 10 minutes to go to half time. And I think, Joe, when you look at this Bradford performance, I don't think anybody can fault it.
No, it's been exactly what we needed so far. It's been clinical, disciplined. You know, the boys are carrying well, they're pushing well, so yeah, can't complain so far.
Well, prior to this game, Bradford had scored 75 tries. They've scored 8 this afternoon. They're now up to 83 tries for the season, and they've only conceded 41. And as we mentioned, going into this game, the Bulls' points for was at 238, scoring an average of 34 per game. That's excluding the Challenge Cup, just focusing on League One. And this will really do their points for and against the world of good. 48 points to 0. West Wales Raiders, though, to the credit, they're still racing out of that defensive line. They're not waving the white flag. Elliot Minchella has just come on the field. He's got 11 tries for season 2017. Pickersgill to Laithwaite. Laithwaite back on that right angle, and last tackle coming up here for the Bradford Bulls. Halafia out of dummy half to Pickersgill. They're going to run it on the power play. Gibson to Pickersgill. First try of the season for Brandon Pickersgill. No newbie one. He'll enjoy that one, Joe.
He will, yeah. We've been speaking this week, me and Pickers, about him getting over the line for one this week, and he won one last week, and he's had a few chances, but yeah, pleased for him to go over there.
And he went close at Doncaster at the Keepmoor. He says he got it down. The referee disallowed it, but he'll be glad he's not got to do the naked strip.
That's it, yeah. Pickers, his support play is awesome. You know, he's very instinctive, so he was always going to get one. It was just a matter of time, and there he is.
So Brandon Pickersgill, the 9th try of the afternoon for the Bradford Bulls. 33 minutes gone on the clock here at Odsall, and it's 52-0. And Chisholm will line up his 9th conversion attempt over on the far stand side. Barbie watching from Western Supermare. Alan Mulqueen says it's like a sevens game. Colin Firth watching on the Shetland Isles. Come on, you Bulls. Barbara Batten once again. Well done, Brandon. Darren Sharkey watching. And Simon Williams says Bradford can only play what's in front of them. I feel it's more of a training game for the Bulls today. However, fair play to the West Wales Raiders for turning up after last week's huge loss and another mammoth road trip. Well, while Dane Chisholm lines up his conversion attempt, I was actually talking to the West Wales Raiders coach driver. There's 2 coach drivers, so one's drove here, one will drive back, and he says it's a 5.5-hour journey, and that includes a 20-minute break. So West Wales Raiders, they won't be getting back to Llanelli until close to midnight. Chisholm from that eastern touchline. Joe Keys, I think he's applying for the job.
Yeah, I think we found the new kicker.
54 points to 0. Still 6 minutes to go to half time. And the record was 60-0 last week. There's still 6 minutes to go. We could be seeing world records go here, John.
Yeah, we could. I'm not sure, you know, what's going to happen. I mean, so far Bradford clinical, West Wales, like, you know, they haven't given up yet, but I think it's going to be a tough last 50 minutes for them, if I'm honest, Mick.
And the most interesting aspect from this first half performance from the Bradford Bulls, 9 different try scorers. Bustin, Grant, Ryan Hallis, Chisholm Laithwaite, Smith, Garside and Pickersgill. It has been a team effort. So, 5.5 minutes to go to half time. Vila Halafii to Minchella, out wide to Hitchcox, Hitchcox to Gibson. Gibson's going to be brought down 8 metres shy of the halfway line. Halafii slots in at that dummy half roll to Minchella. And Elliot Minchella will carry the Bulls inside the West Wales Raiders half on tackle number 4. So 1 tackle remaining for the Bulls on the restart. Halafihi goes out of dummy half, still going forward. Vila Halafihi, he's lost the ball, and that is Bradford's 3rd error of the afternoon. And this big crowd here at Odsal, they're stunned into silence, and the West Wales Raiders will play the ball 12 shy of the halfway line, and it will be the scrum half Dan Hunter in at dummy half, and Vila Halafihi there with Elliot Minchella racing out of that Bulls defensive line, and the West Wales Raiders really struggling to make any headway, but they'll have a relieving set of 6 with ball in hand. I think this is only the 5th set of 6 they've had in this first half. 4 minutes remaining on Bulls Live Proper Sport. 9 tries to 0, 54 to zip on the scoreboard as West Wales Raiders try to shift the ball towards this main stand side, and they're going to be rolled over in a 2-man tackle by Garside and Wood. So tackle number 4 for the Raiders. In at dummy half is Matthew Davis. Dan Hunter, boot to ball, puts Dalton Grant under pressure. Dalton Grant has to trap the ball, which he will do, and he'll pick it up from his own in-goal area. And now he's going to float the ball to Hitchcox. Jai Hitchcox could show us some Super League class. Here goes Jai Hitchcox to Chisholm. Dane Chisholm underneath the sticks. It's going to be try number 10 of the first half. We've still got 3 minutes to go. It's 58 points to 0. Eye-catching score there from the Bulls. Hitchcox and Chisholm, linking qualities, perfection, John.
Yeah, very good, eh? A great feat there from Jai, stepped in and outside a few people, made a break, tipped the ball on to Dane, great push, could have gone either way there for a score. That's probably going to be 60-0 now, Mick. I'm not sure how long's left in this half, but a couple of minutes maybe.
Dane Chisholm with his 2nd try of the afternoon, and Bradford's 10th, and this scoreline is fast turning, R-rated and ugly as Chisholm will attempt the conversion attempt from in front. And when you think back to that last tackle play from the Raiders, Dalton Grant palming it back towards his own goal line, the Bulls have gone 100 metres in the blink of an eye, and that was certainly an awe-inspiring effort, and that has got the supporters below our commentary position buzzing with delight. Dane Chisholm with the right boot from in front, 60 points to 0. So anything York can do, the Bradford Bulls can do better. And we've still got 2.5 minutes to go to half time on the scoreboard, John.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes there. Look, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we run another try in. Dane's kicking really well there. We've got 10 from 10, eh? Makes all the difference. I'm running out of things to explain, I think, really, Mick. It's Bradford, Bradford, Bradford. I mean, West Wales have had 5 sets in 37 minutes. Very, very difficult.
And of course, the extreme weather conditions, 25 degrees here at Odsal, baking hot as Dan Hunter gets proceedings back underway. Dalton Grant to Peltier. 10 tries from the Bradford Bulls in the first half, 60 points to 0. Gibson, Pickersgill to Mikey Wood. Mikey Wood's wrapped up on the Bradford 30. 75 seconds remaining. Halafihi breaks clear. James Laithwaite, the ball's gone forward. If Vila Halafihi times his pass, the Bulls are going in for try number 11. And Dane Chisholm just pats Vila on the back, and he will say, no worries, 60 points to 0, a 4th error. Joe?
Yeah, it's a really good play from Vila initially. You know, that's his best thing about his game. You know, his running game is when to run, when not to run, and he made a good decision then and made a good break, but just couldn't execute the pass at the end, which is unlucky.
60 seconds remaining in the first half. I think that is going to be all she wrote at 60 points to 0. West Wales Raiders, to the credit though, they've not waved that white flag and are certainly still giving a lot of effort, and that will certainly please head coach, or should I say temporary head coach, Phil Carlton. Minchella, Garside, Wood in defence there. West Wales Raiders brought down just shy of the halfway line. They look to show and go with Sean Tennant. Tennant's going to be wrapped up. 10 seconds remaining. This will be the final play of the first half. It's going to be a scoop out of dummy half from Macaulay Harris, and the hooter should sound any second now, which it does. Final play, Minchella on the shoulder, and it is half-time here at Odsal Stadium on Bulls Live and Proper Sport. It is the Bradford Bulls 60, the West Wales Raiders 0. What are your thoughts on that first half, John?
Pretty clinical, I think, pretty professional by Bradford. It's going to be a tough second half for the boys from Wales, but you know what? I think John will be happy. They've done what he wanted them to do, really. Come out and just been a bit ruthless.
I mean, Joe, a lot of people, especially the supporters going into this game, they were all talking on social media of 80, 90, 100, 140. I don't think anyone could have predicted that it would be 60-0 at half-time.
No, we've seen the scoreline at half-time last week in the York game, and it's a big score, and it would have taken a good performance to match that, and it has been a great performance so far. It's pretty faultless. Other than the errors you mentioned, it's been pretty faultless.
And now for the second half, please welcome to Oxford Stadium, your 2018 Bradford Bulls!
You alright like that, yeah?
Well, welcome live to Bulls Live and Proper Sport here at Odsal Stadium. Half-time, Bradford Bulls 60, West Wales Raiders 0. And we've just been speaking to ourselves while we've heard from the magnificent and graceful Tom Maguire pitchside, John. What exactly has Phil Carlton said to his side at half-time? Because it's deja vu and it's a 0 half-time drubbing.
Yeah, we just had a conversation outside there. I don't know what you say, really. I mean, I spent a lot of time on the road with the Broncos Academy, and we didn't win many games for about 7 years, and when we did, it was a bit easier. But, you know, I think it's obviously just words of encouragement. I mean, as I said before, the fact they're here, I think, is a huge thing. So, you know, whatever he said, hopefully it's going to have some impact. I mean, they've got a good ball set now, 15 metres from the Bulls line. Knock on there from Bradford. So, in fact, he's given it the other way there for a knockdown.
Yeah, he's going to say West Wales Raiders palm the ball down from the base of the scrum. Hitchcocks to Ethan Ryan. That looked to go backward. Referee Andy Sweet puts whistle to lips. So, again, just as the Bulls started the first half, a little bit shaky. And Dane Chisholm with 2 tries in that first half and 10 from 10. If you do the maths, that's 28 points. So Dane Chisholm is potentially going after the point scoring record that has been held by John Woods for his 36 points scored against Swinton way back in October 1985. So there could be a couple of club records going for the Bulls this afternoon, but they've got to do a bit of defending now. 15 out from the Bradford line. The West Wales Raiders, they'll front up, and that is going to be Sean Tennant. Tennant's wrapped up just to the left-hand side of the uprights. It's going to be Harrison at dummy half, and Harris is going to find Elliott, and Harrison Elliott's brought down 5 shy of the line. Quick play of the ball, out of dummy half from Harris. Harris is a metre shy of the line on tackle number 4 for the Raiders. They're over the line, can they get the ball down? James Laithwaite comes in, and West Wales Raiders will go back to the 10, and that, if Andy Sweet has got the tackles right, will be the 5th and last, which it is. So centre of the field, 2 minutes gone at the start of this second half. West Wales Raiders behind the defensive line, and Brandon Pickersgill to the rescue, and he is playing in the halves this afternoon, Brandon Pickersgill, and as we've seen, difficult to pick on any individual out there. It has been a professional team performance. So in the sunshine at Odsal, Chisholm out wide on that edge to Garside, and Matt Garside wrapped up just shy of the 20. Referee Andy Sweet is going to say penalty to Bradford. You've not cleared the ruck. Bradford's 7th penalty of the match, and that will see Bradford have ball in hand, and Dane Chisholm will send that one into the far stand side. And Bradford, 35 out now from the West Wales Raiders line. So, John Lawler Having lived in Wales in the early 70s, I'm really enjoying this Bradford Bulls performance. Bulls live, proper sport. The Bulls hunting the first points of the second half. Chisholm to Minchella. Minchella to the line. Grounds the ball. Try number 11 up for the Bulls. 64 points to 0. We've been playing 43 minutes at Odsell. 37 to go. And that's just exactly what the Bulls would have wanted, Joe. Straight after half time. Continue how you left off that first half.
Yeah, like you said a minute ago, Mick, it's a scrappy start to the half, but good to get down there and get through some shape and let Minchella scoring again.
Yeah, Minnie's having a great season. Another good signing. Him and Garside for me have been standout performers. Yeah, great try there, and he'll like this one, Elliot, if he's listening, watching the game later. Nice try, Cole. He'll know what that means. And Chizzy's now got a chance to make it 11 from 11.
Rhett Dronson has commented. He's the Bradford Bulls wheelchair rugby league player. Will the Bulls get as many as the wheelchair team last week? Bradford defeated Keighley 118 points to 10. In Chisholm, he's after John Rudds' record. 11 from 11. 66 points to 0. 36 minutes remaining here at Odsell.
Well, a shame there, because West Wales had a bit of good ball there from a knock-on by Ethan, and a bit of a poor kick really at the end, and Bradford recovered, and then we've gone to the end of the field and scored. So, are we in for a repeat of what we saw in the first half?
Ian Golden, for those who slate the future of the West Wales Raiders, please see the article of what the development of rugby league players both in South Wales and at North Wales Crusaders Rugby League Club has done for the international game. And Ian Golden, of course, a staunch advocate of rugby league in the Principality. I'd urge everybody after the game to potentially have a look at that article as Ross Peltier takes one across the chops as he was lifted above the horizontal in a two-man tackle. So, referee Andy Sweet gives Bradford penalty number 8 of the afternoon. So 66 points to 0 here at Odsell. Ashley Gibson to Halafehi, to Pickersgill, to Minchella. Minchella rolled on his back just inside the West Wales Raiders half. Pickersgill to Laithwaite. If you're just joining us for the start of the second half on Proper Sport and Bulls Live, James Laithwaite has signed a contract extension. He will remain at Odsell until the end of 2018. Ross Peltier! Like a scrum half! Where has that come from, Ross Peltier? Ross Peltier is getting in on the act. He's having a party. And Joe Keys, then Chisholm, might be after your goal kicking. Ross Peltier might be after your plays.
He might be indeed, yeah. I hadn't seen him move that fast for a while. Great finish from Ross. Nice from Pickers, good tempo holding up the play, and Ross steamed onto the ball, and that's what happens when you're on like that. So yeah, good try.
70 points to 0. 47 minutes gone on the clock. Ross Peltier, he has try number 4 for the season. And I've got to be brutally honest, me and Ross used to go to school, St Mary's, Upchurch Bank in Bradford, if you know, and Ross used to stay at my house and hang around with my younger brother, and I've not seen Ross Peltier move as fast as that since we were stealing golf balls on Bradford Moor Golf Course.
Yeah, I can believe that, Mick, as well, knowing Ross. So I'm sure he'd be pleased to hear that in back commentary again. A few home truths coming out about him. So he's always had good feet, has he?
He's a good lad, is Ross Peltier, does a lot for the Bradford community. The Jamaican international, he'll enjoy that one. 72 points to 0. Dane Chisholm now has 32 points. He's a try away from equaling that record that has stood since 1985 when John Woods kicked all those conversions against Swinton. Bradford Northern in those days, this is the Bulls. And Bradford are hungry and they're rampaging. 72 points to 0. There's still 33 minutes remaining as Ross Peltier looks for a bit of freedom. He's not going to do it again, is he? Surely not. Peltier's wrapped up. 15 shy of the halfway line. Alafihi along the line to Hitchcox. Hitchcox looks for support. Twisting and turning, finds Pickersgill. Pickersgill down the middle. Here goes Elliot Minchella. The zip, the zag. Elliot Minchella pins the ears back. He's gliding into the corner. Elliot Minchella has a double. It's 76 points to 0. Delight for the Bulls fans. A horror show for the Raiders. Everyone's getting in on the act. 13 tries now. Unlucky for some, not the Bulls.
Yeah, absolutely. Great finish from Minnie there. Nice from Jai. Good offload. Pickers and Minnie are building a bit of a link together, and it's working really well. And you know, he showed some pace there and some great feet to finish it off.
Minchella can't seem to stop scoring at the moment, can he? What Elliot does really well is, of course, he pushes on every play. I mean, he was season we've seen him score off both halves, and you know what, he's done it again there. Just a little mention there for Brandon Pickersgill. I think Joe mentioned it earlier. You know, Brandon's doing well out there. He's sort of picking his moments as and when to do things and just keeping it all steady. And I think that's what we need to do for the rest of this game. It's great that we're scoring more or less off every play, but also just picking and choosing your time when to make that pass and when to hold the play up. That's going to be important for the rest of the game.
I think it's also pertinent and important that we show Westwell Raiders a lot of respect. As we said, they have had the rebuilding phase after the change from the South Wales Ironmen. Dane Chisholm yet to miss all afternoon. That one is on point. 13 from 13. It's 78 points to 0 at Odsall. Busting Grant, Ryan Hallis, Chisholm with a brace, Laithwaite Smith, Garside Pickersgill, and Minchella with 2, and also Ross Peltier. I'm not reading out the team news, I'm reading out the try scorers.
Unbelievable, eh? How so many people score, which is great because it shows that we're spreading the ball around, pushing on, and everyone's playing well. So let's see how many more we can get out.
Well, this crowd below our commentary position is hungry. They want to see more points. Dalton Grant will take the ball on the restart, and it will go with Mikey Wood. Mikey Wood turned on his side in a two-man tackle. Vila Halafi in there at dummy half. Comes and attacks the markers. Wrestled to the ground there by Anurin Walker, if I've pronounced it right. Halafi to Minchella, to Pickersgill, and Ross Peltier coming up with a little rare error there. Gone without the ball. Couple of boos and jeers from the crowd there, Joe.
Yeah, they're not happy with that. That's one of our strong points today. I think Mick's been coming out of yardage. We'll be completing really well, so we'll be disappointed with that one with that knock on.
Chris Higgs says it's embarrassing listening to the commentary team getting excited over each try. Well, it is proper sport. Bulls Live, free to stream rugby league. And let me tell you, Chris, if West Wales Raiders get over for a line, I think I'll scream the house down. And they've got a chance now. 40 metres out from the Bradford line. As we said, currently 78 points to 0 at Odsall. Liam Mayfield says, Chisholm with the magic boots on today. Stephen Fox says, hopefully the Bulls can carry on this form and get back to where we belong. And I think that a key point, you know, John Keir, his number one aim, his number one target, his number one goal for the Bulls in 2018 is to see the Bradford Bulls win automatic promotion, and with that passage back up to the championship. So Westwell Raiders, as we said, credit to Phil Carlton's side. They've not waved the white flag and they're still going right up to the Bradford 12. On the last tackle now, the kick is going to come in from Hunter. Hunter's kick is charged down. Here goes Ross Peltier. Ross Peltier, will he go the distance? He's found Brandon Pickersgill. Pickersgill! He's waited till round 9 to get his first try. He's now got 82 points to 0 for the Bulls. And Ross Peltier gets all the plaudits in back play. He gets the pats on the back. It's a 14th try for the Bulls. And the record book, well, we'll be reaching for it shortly if this continues. And Joe, just as we said, no one more deserving of scoring a try like that of Brandon Pickersgill.
Yeah, you know, every time there's a break in play or someone gets a half break or an arm free, Pickers is always there. So, yeah, he's getting his rewards today.
And again, John, who knew Ross Peltier had so much strength, stamina and speed?
Exactly, I thought somebody was playing the noise of the police car there on the fan's trumpet, but he seemed to get away pretty quickly there, Ross, and had the awareness he was going to get caught to drop the ball off to Pickers, and a great finish in the corner. I think Joe Keys might be selling this kicking tee to Dane Chisholm in the next couple of days.
54 minutes gone here at Odsall, 26 minutes remain, 82 points to 0. Chisholm once again from this near stand touchline. Dane Chisholm yet to miss all afternoon. This one has crept in again. Dane Chisholm 14 from 14, and he has not broken, he's equalled John Wood's record that has stood since 1985. He has 36 points, his 2 tries, and he has 14 successful conversions. So, Dane Chisholm equals John Wood's record here at Odsall. 84 points to 0, John.
Speechless, Mick. Speechless. I mean, this is going to be real tough going now for the West Wales boys for the last half an hour.
So, Dalton Grant on the restart, back to Mikey Wood. And he's going to be brought down on his own 10-metre line. 26 minutes remaining here at Odsall. West Wales Raiders have been marking down, John, their sets, and they've had 9 sets in this match thus far. They'll be very tired, very fatigued, as Sam Hallas is dumped on his side. Great defence over on that far stand side. Archie snuck there, but here come the Bulls again. Ethan Ryan up and over halfway, inside support. It's going to be another try for the Bradford Bulls. Underneath the sticks, they will go, and it is now 88 points to 0. What a try that one was, Joe.
Yeah, another great try. Nice hands on the short side. Smithy showing his experience, calling for the ball down the short side, and Ethan with a great ball back inside. And Garside's not that run that fast for a while.
Well, I mean, I'm trying not to be disrespectful to the West Wales Raiders here, John, but this is now turning into what is going to resemble as a training ground exercise.
Absolutely, mate. I mean, scoring at will a bit really, but it's difficult for them, isn't it? You know, off the back of last week, I think even turning up to training and getting on the bus will have been a trauma, if I'm honest. And you know what, they just got to keep going. It's interesting, I wonder what message John's sending down to the touchline. I'm assuming it's just keep going. And like you said, you know, to do our points difference a lot of good. What we've got to remember is that we're not going to be playing West Wales every week. We've got some real tough matches to come.
Dane Chisholm then to break the record of points in a match, which he does. 15 from 15. Successful conversions. That's 30 points. 2 tries is 8. John Wood's record stood at 36, and Dane Chisholm is now the highest point scorer for the Bradford Bulls, and that record is broken on Sunday the 6th of May 2018. And Dane Chisholm has a chance, John, to really set that record high now.
Yeah,
I don't
indeed
think
he
the
has.
scoring's over.
No, I mean, we've still got 20 minutes to go, haven't we, at least?
90 points to nil, 15 tries, 15 conversions. The Bulls running white hot here at Odsal Stadium this afternoon on Bulls Live and Proper Sport. Stephen Holmes, it's wrong that John Wood's record is going in a game like this. Ross Peltier has come up with another error, and it's just getting a little bit heated out there on the field. Referee Andy Sweet has to calm things down, and he's going to say penalty to the Bulls. He's going to say it was stolen. So 9-2 the penalty count. So Bradford will tap the ball. Here goes Matt Garside. He's on for a hat-trick. He's brought down on the halfway line. 20 metres in from the far stand side. As Bradford once again surge forward. Here goes Vila Halafihi. He will get try number 16 for the Bradford Bulls. 94 points to nil. It's a procession.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to get for CV, get on the score sheet. He deserved his place. And the thing is with Vila, he works really hard every week. So I'm pleased to see him get his chance today from John. But again, it is a procession, but it's difficult, I think, again for next week. Then you're going to have to change your focus again. So, but great, mate. The points keep coming. They keep racking them up.
If this conversion attempt goes over from Dane Chisholm, he will break Yestin Harris's record, which was 15 from 15 against Toulouse when the Bradford Bulls beat Toulouse here at Odsal in a Challenge Cup game back in 2008. So the record book is going to be rewrote at the end of this afternoon's game. Chisholm in the record book again. 16 from 16, 96 points to nil. So Chisholm has the goals and the most points in a game.
That's a successful conversion.
Steve Pott says, I bet John Keir would score a try if he put the boots on today.
Don't know about John Keir. I think John Keys might have as well, to be honest. If Lee Smith can score, then I can score.
Andrew Dennison on the comments, unbelievable. Rob Blackburn, huge credit to Westwell Raiders. We can only grow from learning from this. Jay Leeman says, Vila having a thriller. And David Thomas Vickers, the kicking has been excellent, and that will take some beating in the future. So 96 points to nil. The next record to go will be the highest score, which currently stands at 98-6 against Toulouse from that cup game. So Bradford, 10th penalty of the afternoon, and Lee Smith will tap it. 10 shy of the halfway line. It goes to Garside, back to Smith. Smith, tackle number 1, 5 metres inside the West Rail Raiders half. Halafihi, out of dummy half to Hallis. Hallis down the middle, straight direct. A lot of power in that run. And he's brought down in a free-man tackle. Bradford moving the ball on that left-hand edge. Matt Garside offloads it back to Lee Smith. Lee Smith inside the 20, back to Halafihi. Halafihi brought down, 12 metres out. There's been a clash of heads in back play. Referee Andy Sweet will stop the clock, and we have still got 19 and a half minutes remaining here at Odsal. We've just passed the hour mark. 16 tries to nil, 96 nil, and I don't think the Bulls will get to York's total. I think the clock will beat them, but John Keir, he set the challenge out midweek. He wants to see an 80-minute performance from the Bulls, and I think up to this point, despite a couple of minutes at the start of each half being a little bit shaky, the Bulls have delivered. So Ross Peltier leaves the field. On comes Callum Busting. And how do you assess Ross Peltier's performance, Joe?
Yeah, it's been good. He'll be disappointed with them couple of errors, but he's carried brilliantly, and obviously the try and setting up Picker's try, he's carried the ball really well.
Bradford 96, Westwell Raiders 0, just outside the 10 as it goes to Chisholm. Chisholm to Mikey Wood. Mikey Wood, one of the players yet to score this afternoon. Halafihi in at dummy half, misses out busting, finds Minchella to Picker's girl. Dalton Grant gets a second, and that is the 100 points up for the Bradford Bulls. 17 tries, and it's 100 points to 0. Has the scoreboard got triple digits? We'll wait and find out, but it's 100-0, John.
Well, it's 100-0 in a very short period of time. Great ball there from Pickers there out to Dalton. Did really well. Do you know what, Mick? It's getting difficult to say a lot, isn't it? Because we just, everything seems to be going Bradford's way. I do feel for West Wales, but what can you do? It's a real clinical performance. I'm sure John's very happy, and it's obviously going to do our points difference a lot of good.
So a club record that has stood since 2008, the highest score that has been consigned to the history books. The new highest score that will be rewrote and rewritten will be Bradford against West Wales Raiders, 6th of May 2018. I don't think the tries will be matched this afternoon. That will firmly stay with Eric Batten, Trevor Foster, Steve McGowan and Leslie Vanicolo. Dane Chisholm, Joe, he's kicking them from all over. Yet to miss this afternoon. 17 from 17. 102 points to 0. We've still got 17 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'll have to stop lending him my kicking tee. He's kicking really well today. And yeah, the points keep coming. Long may it continue.
And obviously, you can't play this afternoon because of the bad back, but I bet you'd really have enjoyed it out there today, Joe.
Yeah, I would have. It's a nice day for some like free flowing rugby, So obviously I want to play every week, but disappointed not to play this week. But I'm just going to get my back right and get back fit, back to 100%.
And if you were going to grade the Bulls' performance from F to A, what would you give it thus far?
Yeah, it's about A so far. Can't really I haven't put a foot wrong so far. A couple of errors, but that happens every week, so we can excuse that.
Callum Bustin on the restart, 15 out from his own try line. 17 tries, Chisholm 17 from 17, 102 points to 0, and Dalton Grant on his return to action has 2 tries after a family bereavement last weekend. So Mikey Wood wrapped up 15 shy of the halfway line, the sun's still blazing down here at Odsell v Lalafihi. Out of dummy half, finds the support from Elliot Minchella. Elliot Minchella's going underneath the sticks or to the right. And it is try number 18 for the Bradford Bulls, and it's 106 points to 0. 65 minutes gone, 15 minutes remain, and that is Elliot Minchella. He's got the hat trick, so he potentially could be on for 6, but he'll take the match ball home either way. And what has been a memorable game. And John, sadly, a familiar pattern is proving now. The Bulls, they're going direct down the middle with the forwards, the heavy load in the first couple of tackles, and then when West Wales, the big guys, they're stuck around the ruck, the Bulls are going straight through the throat.
Yeah, and I think West Wales are very physically tired, let alone mentally. I think the heat must be draining, part-time players against quite a few full-time players here at Bradford. And also, just 2 weeks on the row, it's not easy, is it, Luke, conceding this many points and staying focused on the game. But yeah, Bradford are busting through the middle, and then someone's finding a hole, aren't they, and offloading. So I think they're probably wishing this was the final kick of the game. And if it was Junior League rugby, of course, it'd have been blown up by now at 60-0.
Dane Chisholm, no one miss all afternoon. 108 points to 0. Chisholm, 18 from 18 attempts. George Robinson says that offload from the Bulls would have beaten a lot of teams. John Nichols says really close one up at the wreck. It's Whitehaven 12, North Wales Crusaders 24, and it is Hunslet 18, York 24. And Lynn Bancroft says Bradford have been ruthless. And I'll just repeat once again, Ian Golden has reposted, for those that missed it, an excellent article on the Wales Rugby League website. I'll certainly share that on Twitter and Facebook at full time. And as we said in the pre-game, after one season as South Wales Ironmen, the club had to rebrand due to a financial crisis. And here they are in 2018, playing predominantly players from South Wales. They're awarded their 11th penalty of the afternoon for a reef. And Bradford once again inside the West Wales Raiders half. This one with 14 minutes remaining. 108 points to nil. Bradford in no mood to ease up, you feel. It goes to Kirk. Kirk brought down just outside the 10. Minchella in there at dummy half. It's going to go to Busting. Busting to Chisholm. Chisholm floats it out to Ethan Ryan. Ryan towards the corner. Ethan Ryan has try number 19. It is oh so easy for the Bradford Bulls. It is 112 points to nil.
Well, same thing again, a silly penalty given away by West Wales, and Bradford have punished them, which is what they've been doing all afternoon when they've had an opportunity. Great finish from Ethan, great pass from Dane. Like I said, I don't know how long's left, Mick. Is it 15 minutes to go? But maybe West Wales think the ground should open up and swallow them up, I think, for a while, because things just aren't getting any easier here, and Bradford are being super clinical.
Gary Barkham says feel for West Wales, but Bradford need to help the points difference. Gail Durkin, unlucky. West Wales Raiders, it's an experience, boys. Hold your heads up high and be proud. I'm really gutted for you. Dane Chisholm yet to miss all afternoon. 18 from 18. He will attempt his 19th conversion on that eastern touchline in front of the far stand side. The sun scorching the surface. And that one is met by loud boos and jeers. Dane Chisholm is human after all, and the scoreboard remains 112 points to nil. Chisholm goes out to 18 from 19 attempts.
George Flanagan.
And I'll go back to an earlier point, Joe. Someone said after, I think, 20 minutes when it was 30-0, if this was a boxing contest, it would have been over a long time ago. I don't think this is really doing West Wales Raiders any good whatsoever.
It's not, it's a tough one for them. But as you said earlier, with the likes of Matt Garside, he was at Newcastle when similar things were happening to them, and look how he's turned out, So all these lads, as long as they stick with it, I'm sure there's good things to come.
Dalton Grant on the restart. Bulls Live, proper sport here at Odsall. 112 points to nil. George Flanagan on for the final 10 minutes. He'll give the ball to Kirk. Kirk is wrapped up outside the Bradford 20. And it's going to go Flanagan, Chisholm to Garside. And that is going to be tackle number 2. Quick play the ball. George Flanagan wrapped up by the marker defence. So, as we said, there's still a lot of fight in this West Wales Raiders defence. Chisholm scoping out of dummy half, wrapped up on the last tackle. What will the Bulls do now? They go through Pickersgill. Pickersgill puts the kick through, and West Wales Raiders at long last will have their 10th set of 6 in this game, and they will come at the Bulls, and that for the moment will alleviate any further points that they concede as the sun goes behind the clouds here at Odsall. Hunter along the line to Tennant. Tennant's going to be brought down by Gibson and Minchella, and that'll be tackle number 3 for the West Wales Raiders. Tennant gets to his feet in at dummy half, back to Hunter. Hunter's going to palm the ball to Desmond Walker, and Desmond Walker managed an offload there. Quick play the ball. West Wales Raiders, they could potentially bring the house down if they could cross the line for their first try. Craig Lewis is brought down on tackle number 4, just outside the Bradford 20, centre of the field. Hunter shows and goes, a bit of a dummy there, but he's wrapped up by both James Laithwaite and Liam Kirk. Last tackle for the West Wales Raiders. Straight into the arms of Dalton Grant, and Dalton Grant is wrapped up on the 20. Desmond Walker coming in, but that was a great tackle there by Curtis Hale. And as we've got to say, credit to the West Wales Raiders. Although the scoreline will suggest that they've been disgraced, they might have been disgraced on the scoreboard, but they've certainly played with plenty of heart and they've never waved that white flag. Bradford coming up with an error there. Sam Hallis, Desmond Walker putting a big hit up. So 112 points to nil. John, credit to the West Wales Raiders. It's just a shame that they couldn't have instigated more periods of the game where it's like this and a bit of an arm wrestle rather than an avalanche, a deluge of Bradford Bulls points.
Yeah, I think they're a bit caught rabbit in headlights a bit as well, you know, the way Bradford have been playing, shifting the ball quickly and capitalising on every chance they've had. But yeah, it's great to see them actually get a few sets of 6, and have a chance to try and do something.
West Wales Raiders win a penalty, their third of the afternoon, so 11-3 the penalty count now. West Wales Raiders, are they about to get a try here? Desmond Walker brought down 5 metres out from the Bradford line in front of the Ruler Lane terracing. 8 minutes remaining on the clock, 112 points to nil. They managed to score a try here at Odsal in the Challenge Cup. Desmond Walker dived over the line and in the act of scoring lost the ball on contact, and the referee is going to stop the clock because there's a couple of Bradford players down, and it's looking like Liam Kirk there just in a little bit of pain on his left ankle. Well, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, Joe. You're going to go down to pitchside now and celebrate the win with the boys.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Mick, and Pro Sport and Bulls Live. Really enjoyed it, and I'm just going to go and join the boys now.
Thank you very much, Joe. All the best with your recovery, and fingers crossed you get the green light for the next game, which will be here at Odsal on Saturday against the London Scholars. And Liam Kirk just gets up a little bit of gingerly, a little bit groggily, and he's going to try and walk it off. And let's just look at the ladies' scores in League One. So it finished Hemel 12, Workington 60. So Leon Price's side putting on a big score at Hemel. It's Hunslet 18, York City Knights 26, Keighley Cougars 86, Coventry Bears 6. Bradford moved the ball out to Ethan Ryan. Here goes Ethan Ryan, centre in centre field, still going Ethan Ryan, looks for support, finds it from Pickersgill, Pickersgill keeps it going, the balls are going in, this will be a fantastic try if they get there. The referee will stop the clock and he's going to award the try. It's another try to the Bradford Bulls. Try number 20. And just as we're going through the scores, John, the Bulls have got on the act again. Fantastic pace there from Ethan Ryan. He found the support from Brandon Pickersgill. And as we said, the Bulls white hot. Matt Garside's got a hat-trick.
Yeah, that's both Gars and I think Minnie's got a hat-trick as well, hasn't he? Is that right? 2 back rowers got a hat-trick each, which is very good. What do you say, Mick? West Wales must be on that post thinking what's going on here. But again, you know, had a couple of sets up here and spilled the ball over the line, and then Bradford had just gone 90 metres and scored at the other end. And it's been a bit of the story of the afternoon, really. But what you must say is how clinical Bradford have been. Dane's had a great afternoon with the boot, scored a couple of tries as well. Stands us in good stead, you know, we've played some good stuff and followed the processes. We've got another game next Saturday, then the next real big game for me is the one on the Friday night at Newcastle. So 5 minutes to go, I think is a...
Bulls Live, Proper Sport, Bradford Bulls 118, West Wales 0. And as we said, Keighley Cougars 86, Coventry 6, Oldham 28, Newcastle 6, and Whitehaven 12. North Wales Crusaders 25. So as Ian Golden mentioned in his post, there's still a lot of life for rugby league in the Principality. So 118 points to nil, 20 tries, Chisholm with 2 and 19 from 20 attempts, 46 points. Dane Chisholm has contributed to that Bulls total this afternoon, and I don't think we give Matt Garside the credit he deserves there for that support play, but Ethan Ryan, a lovely break. Crossfield kick from Dane Chisholm. Ethan Ryan just in touch, and Bradford were looking for something spectacular there in the closing embers of this one. So the try scorers for the Bulls this afternoon: Callum Bustin, Dalton Grant with a brace, Ethan Ryan with 2, Hallis, Chisholm with 2, Laithwaite, Smith, Garside with a hat-trick, Pickersgill with 2, Minchella with a hat-trick, Ross, Peltier and Dane Chisholm, 19 successful conversion attempts. So, Westwell Raiders, can they penetrate the Bulls' defensive line? 4 minutes remaining here at Odsal. A lot of these Bull supporters, they will head home, the summer barbecue, enjoy the evening. Hunter out of dummy half, finds Ross Price. Ross Price brought down there by Peltier, Laithwaite and Flanagan. Don't forget, we'll have all the interviews and reaction from the players on the Bradford Bulls Facebook Live page at the conclusion of this game. And John Nichols says, spot on coverage, keep up the excellent work, Proper Sport and Bulls Live. Thank you very much. Well, it's this part of the game where we're going to ask for a man of the match. Westwell Raiders, Grubber kick through, it's touched the Bradford leg. So Westwell Raiders fighting to the death, and that I think will please temporary head coach Phil Carlton. So for those commenting in the on the Facebook feed, the man of the match vote is open. Fire away who you think the man of the match should be before we ask John Keys. Bradford, they're going to go for a shallow restart. It's picked up there by Minchella. Westwell Raiders didn't have the structure there, and with 3 minutes remaining here at Odsal, 118 points to nil. The Bradford Bulls, they're going to be home and hosed, and in all fairness, they were home and hosed. No disrespect to the Westwell Raiders. After 20 minutes, here goes Sam Hallis, up and over halfway, looking for the support, couldn't find it, and he's brought down 20 metres out from the Westwell Raiders line. Pickersgill has it in centre field, it goes to Chisholm. Chisholm going towards the line, Dane Chisholm! With all the dummies in the world, back on the inside to Flanagan. Put it down, George. He does! Underneath the sticks. I think I'm going to have to call the famous Italian mathematician up from Vinci, because you just can't compute it, John. 21 tries, 122 points to nil. I've run out of paper on my notebook.
Yeah, great stuff. Good to see George realise what you have to do there when you cross the try line and get the ball down. I don't know how long we've got left, Mick. Have we got a couple of minutes left, or?
2 minutes on the clock, John.
2 minutes on the clock. The fans there responding to George putting the ball down, which is fantastic after last week.
Well, as we heard from Joe earlier, he had a bit of Mickey taken out of him during the week, but once they'd had the laugh and at George Flanagan's expense, the serious stuff started, and the focus and preparation for the game against the Westwell Raiders had begun. The touch judges shielding their eyes from the sun that is blazing down here at Odsal. Dane Chisholm about to take his personal tally this afternoon to 48, which he does. 124 points to nil here at Odsal. And Stephen Foster says, I'm really glad George remembered to put the ball down. And the clock says we have 20 seconds remaining, so the Bulls, job well done at Odsal. This scoreline, it'll go down in the history books. as the biggest and highest score in the club's 154-year history, and also goals and points. The man of the match has been given to Dane Chisholm. That is by the club sponsors. Bradford, the hooter about to sound. Have they got one more try in them? The hooter has sounded. It's with Ethan Ryan. Ethan Ryan still going up and over halfway. He's lost the ball, and that will bring everything to a halt. Bradford Bulls, the record breakers, 124 points to 0. Dane Chisholm, he got the man of the match, John.
Yeah.
Do you disagree?
Same from me, to be honest. Kicked really well, scored a couple of great tries, and to me he looks like he's making more progress from his injury. It's a long road to recovery, you know, and he's had some tough games so far this year, but he enjoyed himself running about today. I'm immense with the boot today, goal kicking, fantastic, and hopefully his progress will continue, and you know what, we're going to need it all at the end, this end of the season. I'd just like to give a mention to West Wales Raiders. They're all still standing on the feet, and sort of think Matt Garside had just been and pulled one of them who was haunched down. What a fantastic effort from those blokes, 2 weeks on the bounce, travelled up here, got a pretty tough beating again today, but didn't give up until the end, which I think is a credit to them and their club.
Well, this is great to see, John, for those still staying us on the proper sport and live feed. The West Wales Raiders, they're being given a hero's applause off the field. So full time here in Oxford, Bradford Bulls 124, West Wales Raiders 0, and the London Scholars here next, John.
Yeah, London Scholars next week. You never know what you're going to get with them, because you don't know who they've got from their dual registration clubs, but if Bradford play at 50% of what they've done today, I'm looking forward to it, Mick, to be honest.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Mick Gledhill, John Keys and Joe Keys, signing out from Oxford Stadium. The record books have tumbled this afternoon. Dane Chisholm gets the proper sport man of the match. 48 points, 21 goals from 22 attempts. This performance will live long in the memory for those that have been here this afternoon. Thank you very much. See you on Saturday.